And then now we're going to switch over to a completely different type of metric that may be new to some of you. Hopefully most of you are familiar with the concept of engagement and read rates. And this, so what this looks like is basically, many of you are probably familiar with the tool Litmus or Email on Asset. There's sort of a couple of tools out there that sort of measure this. We've actually embedded sort of a tool called Email Insights that's based on the Litmus platform into our platform. And so what it looks at in this case is it looks at, in essence, how long are people that are opening the message, how long are they keeping it open for, right? And so at that highest level, it's what's called read, 8 seconds or more, skimmed is 2 to 7 seconds, and glanced is under 2 seconds. And that can literally be if somebody's on a high-speed internet connection, they're kind of scrolling through that inbox. If that image happens to load as they're sort of scrolling through, it'll basically be counted as a glance. But obviously in most cases, not always, but in most cases, you want people to engage with your message longer, right? And so understanding that how long they're spending with their email it can be a very important message or important metric around engagement, right? If people again are spending more time in the message, that should be a good thing. And so you can see here that Canada is at the high end where their readers are spending almost 72%. 72% of them are in that read rate category, where us Americans tend to have less patience. We want things now, we sort of move on quickly and stuff, and we're at about 60%. The most important thing to think about this, though, is not what sort of regions, industry think, is to use this to understand your own readership, right, based on what you're trying to achieve, what sort of the composition of your readership is, and understand how they're sort of interacting with. Are you falling short, or do you have too many people that are just sort of opening and then moving on and stuff? And so how can you think about designing your message to increase the percentage of your recipients that are actually spending more time with it? And the final point that I'd make is look, we have a client that actually does targeting to their customers based on which of these categories they fall into. In other words, they're segmenting their customers of those that typically open their message for more than 8%. They're actually targeting them with different kinds of different design messages and stuff. And so that's kind of the point of this, is to understand who your readers are. And if you have readers that have very little patience and stuff, you might need to think about redesigning your messages.
Great.